Hello everyone, welcome back for another video. Today is a very special day cause it's finally time for the 100 sub special episode. An episode which I'm very excited to show you and upload cause if you know me, if you know my channel, I'm kind of getting the reputation that I'm the zero rare decklist guy, maker or whatever, and I was like, I want to embrace this fully and create an archive for all the people that want to just create these zero rare decklists or get an idea for them, but they don't really want to wait for me to just upload them every single one at a time. So I was like, let me just make an archive with everything in it, and this can be a two-parter. Part one is today's video, which I will be showing you and talking about every single one of the decks that you are seeing over here, but tomorrow's video is gonna be me playing every single one of these decks. And for reference, there are around 34 decks, I believe, and yeah. And since I didn't tell you already, this is every single color combination, sort of zero rare deck lists. And there are a lot of decks, a lot of them, and some of them you might have seen, like the Timur Budget Elemental, the Grix Reanimator. There was no reason to recreate those decks, but there are a lot of new ones that you will, really enjoy. And trust me, we have a lot of cool stuff to go on. So, without any further delay, hit the notification bell, subscribe for more videos, and hit the like button, cause I guarantee you're gonna love this video. And let's get starting it off. We have one of my better actually zero rare deck lists that did very well on YouTube, which is Cavalcade Zero Rares Mono Red, which basically uses Cavalcade of Calamity, as you all know, a very popular deck list right now among people, and I'm very happy that it is. And what does it use? Well, it uses the ability that when you attack with a creature with 1 power or less, it deals 1 damage to your opponent, and that works very well because you basically have a lot of things that does go face fast, and then you use the ability of Chandra Spitfire, which gets +3 every time an opponent takes non-combat damage. Well, you can imagine how fast this goes. And of course, one of my personal favorite tastes on this deck, which is Claymore Seaman, which just goes in as 1/1, but has Riot, so it has haste, and then makes your opponent's creature not be able to block. So you have this amazing synergy, which you go in, hit them to the face, you have then some Infuriate Sock, Lightning Strike to deal extra damage, and light up the stage to just have that steam going. Now, that's it for the first one. Let's get on to the second mono red deck. Oops. Oh my god. Alright, the second mono red deck is Mono Red Gobos Zero Rare, which is basically mono red goblins, and we have all the goblins basically, not much to say. You have seen this deck, I have played it, I've really loved it, you guys loved it, I'm very happy for it. And we go with Fanatical Firebrand, some Spear Spewers. Well, it is a little bit changed with Spear Spewer, but it's basically the same thing. And of course, the bread and butter for this deck is Goblin Ringleader, as it just gives you all the goblins to your hand. Volley, of course, veteran, amazing removal, as well as Ember Howler. Goblin Warchief gives haste to everything, you can play things a lot faster. And we also have Goblin Gathering for that little bit of extra goblins and extra blockers. Sometimes they're very needed, as you have seen in the video which I upload with this. And yeah, on to our third and final mono red deck, and that is Mono Red Zero Rares, just like that. It is Mono Red with Fanatical Firebrands, Gitu Lava Runner, Socks, Electrostatic Field, Viacino Pyromancer, Lightning Strike, Wizard's Lightning, Gutter Snipe, Secure the Critics, and then two of my personal tastes, the Flame of Kelt, to draw cards. Of course, you can have Light Up the Stage here, but I was like, I wanted something different, and I was like, Flame of Kelt, but you can replace these 3 Flame of Kelts and, well, 1 Gutter Snipe for 4 Light Up the Stages. Of course, you can do that, but this is my taste. And then T-Bolt, the Rakis Instigator, just because your opponent cannot gain life, which is very good versus those life gain decks, especially with a Janis and Bloodthirsty Aerialist, and you can also have those little bit of a devils, just do your bidding. So yeah, that is our third and last zero rare deck list for Mono Red. Hope you're enjoying this one so far, and let's get into Alright, the first mono blue deck is Just like that, mono blue, just like that. It's nothing more safe about it. We have Terramander, Siren, Storm Tamer, Curious Obsession, Dive Down, Opt, Spell Pierce, Negate, and Essence Capture. All the normal uncommons that you would see in a mono blue deck. And I don't think I really need to explain anything else. Just put Curious Obsession, tag with your creatures, have Dive Down, protect them, Opt to draw, Spell Pierce, stop your opponent, Negate, stop your opponent, Essence Capture, stop your opponent. But we have 3 weird cards, which is Narset, Parter of the Veils, to just, well, basically stop your opponent from drawing cards, and you get some spells. We have Chemisters inside to get more cards out, but the most important card for me that makes this deck a lot of fun is Thunder Drake, because you can basically buff it its turn, it has flying, it is a 2-3, and of course you can just make it really big and protect it very easily and just win the game overall with it. So that's basically it for mono blue, but we have the second mono blue deck, which some of you cheeky people might enjoy. Alright, the second mono blue deck is mono blue mill 0 rare, which is this stupid deck for all you weirdos out there that, like me, want to just be stupid sometimes and just play Persistent Petitioners with Psychic Corrosion and Thought Collapse and just have some syncopates in there just for the early game. And well, what can I say? Just mill your opponent, have fun. Really nothing more to say for this one. So, on to our next one. For those wondering why I cut the video here there, is because I want to check that the recording is going well. Don't worry about it. So, mono black 0 rare, just like that, of course, our first one. And, well, basically it is a combination of mono black kind of control but kind of creature. Like, we have some things that kill, like Disfigure, Liliana's Triumph, Murder, Obnixious Cruelty, Ravenous Chupacabra, but we also have Banehound, Vampire of the Dire Moon, to buff Bloodthirsty Aerialist and Epicure of Blood, which is a very good combo. We also have Ill-Gotten Inheritance that works very well with everything, and you don't ever really get to play this card outside of Limited, which I'm very happy for. We also have Aid the Fallen to get some cards back into our hand, and of course the Eldest Reborn, a very strong card that was one of the favorites of the Guilds of Ravnica meta. So yeah, just an overall very strong mono black deck. Nothing really much to say apart that you just go in, destroy your opponent's creatures and just establish a board state and you're good to go. But the second mono black deck is mono black control 0 rares, which basically features a full-on heavy control version that uses Blood-Soaked Altar, one of my at least very kind of happy cards that just, well, you pay 2 life, you discard a card, you sacrifice a creature, and you create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. So it's very stupid, it's very expensive, but if you can make it work, it's very fun. And how do we make it work? Well, that's why we have Sanitarium Skeleton and Reassembling Skeleton to get them back to our hand or battlefield after they die, and we can use Bone Splitters and to control our opponent, and with these cards we have Bone Splitters. We also have Soaring Stairs to use them to gain life in case we don't have an opponent to hit with it. But to control our opponent we have Disfigured, Duress, of course Soaring Stairs, Murder, and the Eldest Reborn, just because why not? And yeah, that is the second mono black 0 rare deck list, which I'm very happy for because it's just a lot of fun, especially with Blood-Soaked Altar. And yeah, let's go to the is it the final? No, we have one more color, right? Yes. So we have 2 more colors, and let's get into the right onto our first mono white. We have mono white Winnie's 0 rare deck list, which, well, if you couldn't figure it out, it's basically doing mono white stuff, but with a little bit of the synergy with a Johnny's Primate and Dauntless Bodyguard, Healer's Hawk, Larun Enforcer, Leonin Vanguard, a Johnny's Welcome, God's Willing, a very strong card of course for us, Danto Vanguard, a Johnny's Primate, Militia Bugler, and Conclave Tribunal for a little bit of control. And well, it's one of the strongest actually mono rare deck lists, monocolored, mono rare. Monocolored, zero rare deck list. There we go, English, kind of hard, I don't know, sometimes my brain doesn't work, especially when you be talking so much as I have. And yeah, well, you just basically just go in, play your small creatures, buff your big creatures, make sure you always have some way to protect a Johnny with like God's Willing, or some ways to buff it up very quickly. And that's it basically. So for the second mono white, we have, well, one that I'm very actually excited to play in the next video, which is Mono White Angels. The reason I'm excited is because it just started off with a lot of smaller healing and some, of course, a little bit more control-ish stuff, going to some pacifism, into then our big angels, which is Angel of Vitality, Dawning Angel, and Sunblade Angel. Of course, all these angels are very fun, but the most important card is Angelic Exaltation, because we basically just play a lot of our small creatures or our semi-small creatures and have only one of them attack, like for example Sunblade Angel, and just go in for a lot of damage through the air. And yeah, this is one of the cutest deck lists, and I actually really like it. So on to our last mono colored zero rare deck list. We have green, my favorite color as you all know, and we start off with, well, mono green big boys zero rare deck list, which has 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Paradise Druids, 4 Bond of Flourishing, and you get what I'm saying here. We start off with a lot of ramp and healing, going some a little bit of ways to control the board state with Netcaster Spider to stop the flyovers, Thrashing Broodstones, which is basically a 3/4 for 3, which is amazing, and you can also sacrifice to kill like a Skanta or a Johnny's Welcome or anything like that. And of course, we have Vine Mare, that's just very useful overall on its own, as it is basically hexproof from black creatures. It can be blocked from black creatures, and it has hexproof, so it's very strong on that perspective. We also have Gruul Beastmaster, card that you may not know of, but basically it just has Riot. It has a +X+0, where X is Gruul Beastmaster's power. Yeah, basically buff it up. I'm just gonna continue because I just didn't say anything correct there, but that's okay. Then we have Overcome, which basically is a very strong card coming in from N20, which gives +2/+2 to our creatures and also trample. And with our ramp, if we have 2 of them in hand, we can even use 2 of them. And I'm not kidding, I have done that play before. We also have some of the big boys, which is Siege Worm and Arboretum Elemental, which have Convoke, so they're very easy to be played, and also have, this has trample and this has hexproof, so they're very strong on their own. Big boys. And we have Looming Seaman to get stuff back to our hand, not our hand, to our deck from the graveyard in case we're board wiped or we're just in a very long-winded game. And yeah, so let's go to the second and final mono colored deck, and that is the Proliferate mono green deck, which goes with 2 Arboreal Grazers, some Llanowar Elves, and basically uses the Explore and Proliferate combo with Enter the Unknown, Wild Growth Walkers, Merfolk Branch Walkers. I think I have one more. No, I have no more Explorers. Okay, I have some Pollen Bright Druids for the counter of the Proliferate, some of course Evolution Sages, cards in Crisis, Bloom Hulk, and well, you don't really get to see Mogu ever, but I really love this doggo, and Mogu is, well, just so strong. Let's look at that. Oof, so good. Then we have, of course, one Grun, the Lonely King, just because, well, if you can kick it, oh my god, you cannot imagine what goes through your head with this. And, well, just imagine a biogenic upgrade with this all comboing together, and you have a very, very big, strong board state that if you can get going, it does not stop for anyone, and I can guarantee that. Now, let's start going to the dual color combinations for, well, basically the guilds. And for those wondering, it is kind of hard to do all this in one take, and I'm slightly losing my mind as I'm doing this, but I'm gonna continue going as strong as possible, because I really want to do this in one take. So, for the dual color combinations, I thought there's no better way to do zero rare deck list but to take all the guilds and just showcase the guilds, their way of being played, the way that they were originally thought of, and you not only get to see a little bit of the history of the Ravnica guilds together, but why they're played like that. So, starting off with the Gruul, we have Boom. You start off always a little bit of Romp, some Infuriate. For personal taste, in all honesty, I just really like the card. We have some Zurtan Goblins with the Riot, we have some Domri Sambus for that extra damage, some Clamor Shaymans, some Evolution Sages, personal taste again, Rhythm of the Wild, making them unable to get countered and also gives them Riot. We have some Collision Colossus to take care of pesky flyers or just buff our creatures, some Sudder Shaymans, just because it's just like a 4 mana creature that is a 5/5 that it also cannot be blocked with more than one creature and can destroy an artifact or enchantment. Very, very strong, and I really do like it. Street Riot, well, come on, was there a reason not to put Street Riot there? I mean, come on, dude, it's so cool. It gives trample and all your creatures have +1. And of course, 4 Wrecking Beasts, just because big boys, big Riot, big trample. And don't forget, we also have 4 Rugged Highlands to showcase the new M20 lands. Now, for the second guild, we have Rakdos going from red-green to red-black and going for that joyful, playful spectacle effect. We have some Full Life Fiends, some Fireblade Artists, some Lightning Strikes, Flame of Kel for that card draw, also Light Up the Stage for that card draw, Angra's Rampage for that control kind of play, which is very, very useful. Probably one of the strongest decks from Zero Rare dual colors. Drill Bit, just to, well, take care of your opponent's hand. Secure the Critics, a lot more damage. Carnival Carnage, either you kill your opponent's small creature at the beginning or you just hit them for 3 and they discard 2 cards. Very strong cards. And Rakdos Firewheeler. Well, basically, let's just look at this card. It's so cool. It's just like a person that has 4 fire wheels and just, I don't know, juggles them. Anyways, it's just a 4 mana, 4/3 that deals 2 damage to the opponent. And then you can deal 2 damage to Planeswalker or a creature. Just an overall great card. And for some reason, because I am silly, I forgot to put these cards in. Hooray! I think I forgot this with a lot of the guilds, as you will be seeing. But yeah, oh no, it's in position. Whatever. And yeah, that was the Rakdos, and we will go to the Selesnya tokens. Which, well, here's the deck list, but let's see it a little bit closer. We start off with some Healer Hawks, some Arboreal Gazes, and actually before talking about this, let me explain to you what Selesnya is. Selesnya is, we have a big team of people and we're just gonna get buffed for having a lot of people. And how do we do that? We just make a lot of creatures through tokens or through just playing them. So I have a lot of small creatures like Healer's Hawk and Arboreal Grazers. We have Hulti's Raptor, just because it's actually a very strong 2/3 for, you know, green-white. We have Sana, Sisei Legacy, which basically gets +1/+1 for each creature you control, so it can become very big very fast. For 2 mana here we can create 2 smaller creatures. We love that. We have one of World Soul Colossus, just because it's not that of a great card, but it can be big if you want it. One of my personal favorites, Iron Root Warlord, because it's a 3 mana 0/5 that can create for 5 mana a token, but it also has the power equal to the number of creatures you control. So basically, it can start off as 1/5, or in our case, probably gonna start off as a 4/5. We also have Conclave Cavalier, some Flower Flourishes, Arboretum Elemental, whatever it's called for the Convoke, as well Conclave Tribunal, and yes, Memorial of Glory, just because we can create 2 more White Soldiers. Of course, Blossoming Suns, and the last card that you may remember from my absent 0 rare deck list is basically Pledge of Unity, which, well, if you read it, it's amazing. It's an instant for 3 mana that gives +1/+1 for each creature you control, and you give 1 life for each creature. It's so good. You just, this picture represents this deck for sure, and I'm very, very happy for it. And I hope you are as well. On to the next deck, we have Dimir, and of course we're gonna go with Surveil for them. And what better way to go with Surveil than just Thoughtbound Phantasm and Dimir Spybugs gets buffed by every time you Surveil, and you have Thought Eraser for that, you have Whisper Agents, Sinister Sabotage, and Discovery Dispersal. A very, very well known deck list, but we add a little bit of our flavor to it, which is Tyrant's Core, and Tomebound Leech, and of course Nightveil Predator, which all work together to give us a very, very strong sowing, as well as Disinformation Campaign, which is a card that I kinda like, kinda don't, gives you cards, but also has to be played, it has a lot of mana, and yes, as I told you, I again forgot to change that, so boop 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 boop. Well, and yeah, that is Dimir Surveil 0 rare, just a very, very strong overall deck. I mean, you just play your creatures and just surveil the living hell out of your opponents. Now, the next one is Golgari 0 rares, which you can see Vraska's face, front and center. This time though, I will be faster. Yeah, there we go, cool. Alright. And there we go. A lot of changes before recording. Who would have thought that would be a good idea? But yeah, how do we go? Well, Golgari is putting creatures into your graveyard and capitalizing on that. And I thought the best way to do that is to go with some Stitcher Suppliers, some Glowspore Shamans, Paradise Druids, just because they're a good card, as well as Trusting Brotodon. And then you have Poison Tip Archer, which every time a creature dies, it deals 1 damage to your opponent. It has Reach and Death Touch. We have Rezone Lurker for the Undergrowth to get ++1 for each creature in your graveyard. We have Golgari Find Broker to get some permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Vraska Swarm Immense, just because it's a very, very strong planeswalker. Overall, love it. Death Sprout to get the, well, kill your opponent's creature and get the land. I really like it, in all honesty. Statue, a very, very strong card. Either gives +1 and death touch to your +1/+1 and death touch to your creature until the end of the turn, or you just straight up destroy artifact, creature, or enchantment. Super strong. And Moldervine Reclamation, which basically you gain 1 life and draw a card for each time a creature of yours dies. And well, a lot of creatures will die, in all honesty. And of course, the last bit is Molder Hulk, which basically, well, it costs 1 less for each creature in your graveyard, but it also, ouch, comes back to the battlefield and you get 1 land from the graveyard to the battlefield. So, an overall very nice and strong sowing for Golgari, and I don't know why the sound is off, but yes, it is, I just noticed. And from that, we go to Boros Legion 0 rares, which I could just not help myself and just put Nahiri inside there, just because I was like, I want the first strike, I like it, and she also has the damage component to it. But I was like, if I'm gonna go Boros, I want to go for the Legion, so I'm gonna go Boros Challenger, with the Sky Knight Vanguard, some Death Distant Legionnaire, some Sky Knights, you know, all that cool stuff. But then you also have the cool spells like Defiant Strike, Justice Strike, I really like Uncaged Fury in all honesty, just because it's so cool, but we also have Integrity Intervention, and the best card for me, of course, is Heroic Reinforcement, which just, you have such a good board state in turn 4, and if you have it to play it, just go in very, very strong with it. And yeah, basically that's it for Boros. Sorry if I'm not super in depth with it. I'm gonna be talking about the decks when I'm playing them for tomorrow's video, or 2 days from now, we'll see. But yeah, on to our Azorius. This is my newest version of Azorius Flyers 0 Rare, which is basically just, you know, Healer's Hawk, Spectral Sailors, Cerulean Drakes, Empyrean Eagle, and basically favorable winds and rallied winds to buff your stuff up. We also have Gods Willing to stop any removal, and 2 new cards that I added is Elite Guard Mage and Boreal Elemental, which works wonder with his deck, believe it or not. In all honesty, I've played a lot with his deck because I was just very excited to play with his deck, and it works out really, really, really well, and it's very, very strong. I do say that's gonna be one of my favorite ones to play. But apart from that, let's go to this boy. You can see the zombie knight, how's it called? The Corpse Knight. And you're may wondering, why Corpse Knight? Well, it is Orzhov. Orzhov is the guild that's like, you pay with either money or your eternal servitude. And what better way to pay your eternal servitude than with some zombies and vampires? And well, that was a sound. We start off with some Vampire of the Diamond, we have some Corpse Knight and Cruel Celebrant to work together very well to hit your opponent to the life total. Alright, excuse me for that, some people just started biting stuff and shouting for no reason. I don't know, some yard work, Jesus. But yeah, as I was saying, then we have some Pierce Oligarchs, some Pitiless Pontiff, Final Payment, Black Rafter, Mortify, Basilica Bellhound, and Concentrate Consume to go with that, you know, usual Orzhov way of just gaining stuff or either killing creatures. And well, your depth is raised, as they say it, but you are as well. And then we have some, I hope you can't hear that sound, we have some Kaya Bane of the Dead, which basically just kills and targets creature, and that's what you want from it, just a basic either 2 times removal or as kind of like a target for your opponent. But this is our synergy, it works very well. I really do like this deck, and it's gonna be one of the coolest decks to play. Whoop, whoop. And of course I forgot to change the lands here as well, because I am silly. Cool, cool, cool. Oh boy, it's getting a little bit tiring, but let's go to the final and last guild, and that is Simic Flash 0 Rare. Yes, I had to just showcase you some Simic Flash, of course, because that's the flavor of Simic right now. And we have Spectral Sailor, some Opts, Spell Pierce, Brineborn Cutthroat, Mercful Trister, Anticipate, Negate, Quench, Sinister Sabotage, Frilled Mystics, and Chemister Insight, which they're all either flash spells or instances, and you can use them all to just buff your Brimstone Cutthroat or annoy the living hell out of your opponent and they just concede. And well, in all honesty, I'm sorry that I had to showcase this deck, because I hate it as much as everybody else, but there was no way that I... Oh, well, I ran out of commons and uncommons. Shit. Well, whatever. That was basically the deck. It's just Simic Flash. Like, there's nothing more to say. Simic Flash. Like, what am I gonna say? I hate the deck as much as you do. It's bad. I don't like it. But I was wrong. The last one is actually Izzet's Invader, which was the deck I played just a little while ago and showcased you, and a lot of you liked it. I'm very happy that you liked it, because basically Izzet, a lot of spells, play them quickly, play a lot of spells per turn, buff up your Enigma Drakes and your Crackling Drakes, buff up your Beacon Bolt, and of course buff up the Invade the City, which is such a cool combination. I really, really do love it. And of course some Salai to just, you know, play it all around. Of course I have this deck on my channel. You can see it's like 2 videos before this one, so go check it out. It's really cool. And yeah, with that, we'll start going to the 3 color combo combinations, such as Esper and stuff. And alright, as for the 3 zero rare deck lists, I will be showcasing you the 4 ones that I have already made videos on, and you can see they're up on my channel. So I will be going over them very quickly, and then I'm gonna be going to the newer ones, which I'm gonna be explaining a little bit more. Let's quickly go over it. We have Gritz's Reanimator, basically a deck that uses a few basic commons and uncommons, such as Teacher Supplier, Chart Course, Tormenting Voice, Golden Demise, Blood for Bones, and Bond of Revival, and all the other cards, and Discovery Dispersal, of course, and all the other cards. Of course, you don't need Ritual of Suit, you can just do Cry the Carnarium or Golden Demises, just saying. All the other cards like Kemphet, Ilhog, Atali, Zakama, and stuff like that is random bug rare or mythic rare cards that you can just use, or from the initial decks that you can get for playing the game. So it's not like you cannot create this deck. You can create this deck and you can get these cards very easily. And if you create other decks, you can use those rare mythic rares for this deck. So this is an all-around kind of a joker deck that you can just use and have a lot of fun of. There is of course a 40-minute guide around, or 30-minute guide on my channel for these decks, so go check it out. I'm not gonna go too much into it. And then another deck that I have another 30-minute video on is Timur Basil Elementals, one of my best videos, I think. And I won't talk about it too much, you know, Reason Reef, play it down, get a lot of cards and stuff like that. All the usual Timur Elementals, Scorch Peter, Leaf King Druid, Lightning Storm King, Crippling Jungler, Overgrowth, Scrambling Scorcher, and of course my 2 favorite cards that I put is Vinemare and Thorn Elemental, which were very well with deck. On to the third of those decks, it is Absence Zero Rare Life Gain, which basically uses Bloodthirsty Iralist and a Janus Pridemate to basically boost them and make very big boys. Healer's Hawk, Soulmenders, Vampire of the Dire Moon, Healer's Glade, Janus Pridemate, Cruel Celebrant, Bloodthirsty Iralist, and Basilica Bellhound all serve a purpose here. There is again a video on my channel for it, and of course Pledge of Unity. As you all know, I really love this card. And yeah, for the 4th and final quick revision deck, we have Esper discard 0 rare deck list, of course, which just makes your opponent discard their hand and gives you all the advantages, such as Burgle Rat, they discard a card, you have a creature on the board. Thundraiser, they discard a card, you Surveil. Of course, then you have other ways to make them take damage, such as Davriel, which basically makes them take the damage, as well as Raider's Wake and Full Spectre, and Obnixilis if they draw cards. Now, of course, again, there is a 40-minute video on my channel for it that explains it in a lot more depth, so go check it out. I will not be going any more in depth. And now we will start with the 3 colored decks that you have not seen and need further explanation. First of all, we have Jund one-shot 0 rares, super meme list, as you can see here, super meme, which goes with it's stupid. Alright, it's so stupid. I love it. Let me explain. There is 2 things playing here. It is the Reanimation and the Gravitic Punch. So we have Bond of Revival and Gravitic Punch. So we throw stuff on our graveyard with Glowspore Shaman and Stitcher Suppliers, but we also ramp with Paradise Druid and Llanowar Elves. And then we have some removal with Death Spout, but we also have Rhythm of the Wild to make things have either Riot or it just can't be countered. And then we just stupidly go in with some Yargles and Loveless Giants and just Groon the Lonely King. And we just use these cards to just buff them up and either use Gravitic Punch or just haste them in, or just use Undergrowth from Loveless Giant. I don't know. I think it's just, I played a little bit of it. It's so stupid, but when it works, it's just so funny. It's just so funny. Anyways, that's it for Jund 0 Rare. It's just like, it's a stupid fun deck. I really recommend it if you want to have stupid fun times. So, Naya's Dinos. Basically, I took all the Ixalant and Return to Ixalant, or whatever it's the other called, and just put dinos inside. I was like, yep, let's just play Naya Dinos, and that's it. It's Naya Dinos. Naya Dinos. Dinosaurs. Okay, well, I lost my ability to speak. And we have community with dinosaurs. Otepec Huntsmaster, give them haste and they cost one little bit less to go in. Relentless Raptor, just 3/3 for 2 and just goes in with Vigilance. Very good card. Baffling Ant to stop some Stimkins and stuff like that. Thunderhead Migration. Thrashing Broodon. Savage Stomp, such a very strong card. I really like it for this deck. Majestic Helipterus, just to go over. Raging Regisaur, just deal a little bit of extra damage, as well as charging Tuskodon, which just really helps out with dealing with extra damage. And of course, Samut Tyrant Smasher, which just gives them +2/+1 haste, and you also scry. And well, creatures already have haste with it on the board, so I think it's a really good card overall. Of course, we could have the mono red big dinosaur that people really like to play, but I didn't really want to put it inside, which is yes, here, Charging Monster Drone, which is Monster Sour. It's a pretty decent card. It's a 5/5 haste trample, but I thought that it might be a little bit more fun to have Charging Tuskodons in. So yeah, that was nice dinosaur. Just go in with it, have fun. Nothing much else to say about it. Yeah, this Sky Mill Control 0 rare. Now this deck list is a deck list. So we basically out-control them with some Justice Strikes, some Dovin's Vetoes, Prison Realm, and we also try to mill them with some Psychic Corrosion, some Thought Collapse, and of course more to the control. We have Dovin's Hand of Control, Ixal's Binding, and some Ral's Outburst, but we also have some Chemisters inside for card draw, as well as Dovin's Acuity, Spectre Sailor, and Augur of Bonus to draw cards. Overall, this is one of my stupidly most awesome decks, because it just like control them, mill them, but they can outplay you, but you also can have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, for those that are looking for a little bit more of a fun control deck, I definitely recommend this one. It's pretty cool. I really like it as one of the 3 color decks that I have made. But going back to the days where I started playing for the I actually started playing a little bit more consistently Magic was when the Khans of Tarkir came out, and Mardu Horde was one of those. So this is basically me being like, I love the Horde, I do it for the Horde, and here's how the Horde works for right now in the meta, and that is Footlight Fiend, Corpse Knight, Cruel Celebrant, the combo we tucked back with Orzhov, but we also have Farblade Artist, Sky Knight Vanguard, Skylight Detonair, light up the stage for the Steam, Tybalt for, well, you know, they can gain life, and you also have those demons, Carnival Carnage, but Heroic Reinforcements, oh my god, it's probably a deck that I give a 8 out of 10 for fun, nostalgia, and destruction. It's just like, it goes in hard, fast, and it gets the work done. And if you just like killing your opponent with creatures fast and efficiently, you're really gonna love this one, I guarantee. Alright, on to our 5 last decks. Let's get to it. Band /0 rares. Just telling the Simic, you are not enough. I am though. So yeah, Spectre Sailor, God's Willing, Opt, Brightborn Cutthroat, Merciful Trickster, Seal Away, Negate, Growth Cycle, Dovin's Veto, Thrilled Mystic, and Chemisters inside, and just like take everything, mush it together, and just have a control flash playstyle that I actually hate it, but god damn do I love that it's cancerous, it really is, but it's so fun. And if you really like being hated by others and also really like hating your opponents, you're gonna love this deck, I guarantee it. Yeah, it's just like a deck that you use because you want to make other people dislike you, and I like it. I really do. But here's a deck that I am very proud of, and that is Sultai Death Touch buff 0 rare. What do I mean? All our creatures have Death Touch. Vampire of the Dire Moon, Sage Scorpion, Orzhov Enforcer, Tombound Leech, Leyline Prowler, Nightveil Predator, Poison Tip Archer, and of course our buff is Vraska Swarm Immense. So we play turn 1 through 3 with all our Death Touch, and then you get a Vraska Swarm Immense, and then you just attack with all this Death Touch, so you're bound to buff your creatures. And especially something like Nightveil Predator is just so amazing to do it. And you have some card draw with Discovery Dispersal, and then of course you have Thought Razor to just stunt their growth a little bit, and of course card draw with Tombound Leech as well, don't forget that one. So yeah, this is one of my for sure favorite decks, just because it's actually the most themed deck of the 3 monocolor. It has the coolest theme that I have not seen anyone ever making or talking about it, and it's definitely the deck that's gonna have a solo video made on it, and I do really think that you're gonna like it. It's so cool. I really like it. So let's have a conversation about the 4 color deck combinations. I'll be honest, there are literally 0 3 mana colored uncommons commons, so making 3 mana color decks was kind of difficult. Now making 4 mana colored decks with 0, either 3 or 4 mana colored commons and uncommons is impossible. It is truly impossible. So I could only create 1 out of the 5 4 color mana combination decks, and that is Witch, and which is these 4 colors together. Life gain 0 rare, which is, as you can understand, just a lot of explore, life gain, Ajani, Bloodthirsty Idealist, Wild Growth Walker, explore your heart out, and draw some cards with Chemisters inside. Basically, gain life, buff your creatures, go face, draw cards. That's it. I mean, I think this is the best that I could do. I might just not be good enough to make 4 mana colored decks with 0 rares and mythic rares, but if you can, please send it to me and I will shout you out and we'll be playing the deck. Of course, I don't know. I think it's a pretty good 4 color deck list and it just works out very well, but maybe in the next standard with the new cards coming out we can create something with 4 colors, but right now impossible. But this is what you get, and I think it's actually a pretty cool deck. Now for the last 2 decks, I'll be honest, they are cool as fuck. Like 5 color Super Friends 0 rare, and as you can guess it, yep, it's 5 colors Planeswalkers with a little bit of Rakdos and Mono Black control here. And apart from these things, we have Teo, Narset, Davriel, Tybalt, Dovin, Ashiok, Sahili, Hultai, Huatli, Kiora, the Wanderer, Kazmina, Chandra, Angrath, Vraska, Nahiri, Samut, Jaya, Obnixilis, Arlene, and Kaya, and of course all this crazy mana going on over here with 1 basic land. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But goddamn, if you ever thought of a 5 color deck for 0 rares, it has to be a full-on Planeswalker super meme, and this is my meme for it. It's stupid. It's fun. Enjoy it. Nothing else to say. just enjoy it. And for the last deck, finally, we have colorless 0 rare. Boom. This deck, well, this deck, you can see it over here. Let me show it a little bit slower for everybody that wants to see it. So, was one of the most fun to make because it was quite a head twist. You could go in a lot of ways, but I was like, I want to go with a semi-optimum fun way. So I decided to go with some Sparring Construct, some Colossus Hammer, Fountain of Renewal, and one of my favorite newest cards from M20, Manifold Key. So, the combination of all these cards and the mana ramp from Gleaming Barrier and Prismite works very well. But we also have Voltaic Servant, Guild Globe, and Skullmat to either get more mana, but also help your creatures untap, which I really like. And for damage, we have Anvil Route Raptor, Meteor Golem, and Sphinx of Guildpact, which basically is your flyover and damage. We also have some Pattern Matcher to get stuff from your library to your hand, which works very well with our deck. I really like it. And some Icy Manipulator to just stop some opponents from attacking, which I really like. And the funny part is that all our lands are freaking non-colored, right? We have Zephyrin Void, Unclaimed Territory, Recall Interplanar Beacon, Field of Ruin, and Cryptic Caves, and they are all working very well. One thing I forgot to change in Super Friends, and I just remembered, I'm very sorry. I was actually thinking of getting some of these colors out and putting a land in. Let me save it here. Yeah. Interplanar Beacon. Yeah, we could use it. It's not bad. So let's take out. We're gonna take out a little bit of. Let's see. We're gonna take a little bit of the Scoured Barrens and some of the, I guess, Jungle Hollow and Rocket Highlands. Just gonna put 3 of those in. Boop boop boop. And there you have it. That's a little bit better for the super events. And yeah. So. Alright, those were all of my 0 rare deck lists. They were all that I could think of, all that I could create. I have been on vacation on and off, and I didn't really have, I didn't put billions of hours into this, but I think I put enough thought and love into the decks so you can enjoy them for your own. And I'm always being real with you, and I want to be real with you. I really love this game. I really love making videos, and I really love interacting with all of you. And I want to say a big thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support from you. I know I might not be the most consistent YouTuber, I know that I might not have the best equipment as a YouTuber, but goddamn, I love doing this shit. You know, I love all you guys, I love the games that I play, I love the decks that I can create, and I just love everything, in all honesty. And I'm so happy that I could I made this video because I wanted to be like, thank you. Here is something that I know that you are gonna appreciate, and hopefully you do. And I love you all for that. I love your support, and I truly hope that you will stick to it for even more of these kind of videos and even more special, you know, like maybe we could even one day reach 1,000 sub special. Who knows? That would be insane, in all honesty. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just so thankful and I'm so happy. And when I am here in this space of, you know, I started making videos because I wanted to find people that love stuff that I love, because I do have friends that I commute with them and we have stuff that we like, but when it always came to gaming, I've never really had people that had the same interest in me and they were friends, and I was always real bad at that. So I was like, you know what, I love this game and I want to show it to the people. No, I want to find people that enjoy the game and enjoy stuff that I enjoy, and we could have fun, you know? So thank you all so much for joining me in this journey and having fun with me and having interest in what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm gonna cut it out now because it's getting awkward, and I'm very awkward when it kind of goes awkward, you know? But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you for the next one. Hope you're having a great day, holiday, and life. Hope everything is going well with you. And I'm not gonna even say the usual outro, because if you're here, it means that you are a real OG, and really, like, there are some of you people that just stay till the end, and you are insane, and I really do appreciate you. So type down to the comments. Well, type down to the comments. Alright, got it. Write down to the comments 0 rare hype. 0 R and hype. Gonna give you like some shout out love in the comments down there. Ooh, you know why I do it anyway, but you get extra points from me. And yeah, hope to see you all next time. Take care. Bye bye.